Hello, good afternoon from beautiful Makati in Metro Manila, Philippines. I'm walking toward Greenbelt Malls, and I wanted to talk a little bit about. I've been here for a year and a half, and so I haven't been back to the U.S. since last March of 2022 is when I left. So I've been walking a lot. Ooh, that's a lot of sun. I wanted to talk a little bit about what do I miss from the U.S. What do I miss in the States? So as we do our walk, let's run down the list and stick around to the end of this video, because I'm going to tell you the things that I love about the Philippines. So stick around for that. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Here we go. Okay, so you can see how beautiful places in Makati are. So things I miss about the U.S. Number one on my list is being close to my family and my friends. Even though I'm kind of a loner, you know, that lonely bull in Asia type of thing, I've always been kind of a nomad. I've traveled a lot, moved around to different jobs in my careers. I've had 3 careers basically in my life: radio, insurance and investment sales, and education, director of admissions and school director at universities throughout the country. So I've moved around a lot, so I've never really had a lot of close friends. I would say the closest friends I've had are the ones that I've had in college. They're the ones I've kept the closest to. Friends I've met along the way have kind of come and gone. I still reach out to them. They reach out to me on occasion, but I don't have a huge group of really, really close friends. Probably the friends I've made here in the Philippines are closer than anybody I have in the States. Now my relatives, specifically my cousins, they're the ones I'm really close to because I grew up with them. They're like family. They're like brothers and sisters to me. So I feel closest to them. And of course my sisters, I have 3 older sisters, and my son, who's growing, living in Indiana, doing his own thing. So that would be number one, missing them, being close to them so I could go see them, you know, whenever I wanted to. It's a lot harder now when you're halfway around the world. Number 2, live sports. I'm a huge college football fan. I love baseball too, professional baseball. So I'm, born and raised in Nebraska, so I'm a big Nebraska fan, football fan. I love Notre Dame football since I was a little kid. I've always loved Notre Dame football too. So those are my 2 favorite teams. I would say number 3 would be Tennessee, just because when I lived in Tennessee, I got to kind of follow the team a little bit and really enjoy their style of play. So that, and baseball, growing up, I was a huge Cincinnati Reds fan. So I got to see them quite a bit when I lived in Indiana. I was close to Cincinnati, so it was a short drive to go to the games. So I miss the ability to go to these events live, no matter what it is, sporting events. Also to be able to watch them on TV at a normal time. You know, if I want to watch live sports here, I got to get up at 2 or 3 in the morning. Hello. I gotta get up at 2 or 3 in the morning to watch live sports in the States. So, I have to, I've got my YouTube TV, so I can record all that stuff and watch it when I get up. But then it's like, I gotta be careful not to get on Facebook or not to get on the internet or anything like that, because I might accidentally see a score and that's gonna spoil everything for me. So it's kind of a little bit of a hassle to be able to watch live sports here when the time frame is so drastically different. Number 3, what I miss most in the States is live music. Let's face it, America's got the best live music, the best music period in the world. And whether it's famous acts or local live music, you can find some really great musicians in the States pretty much anywhere you go. And living in Tennessee near Nashville, that's like the music capital of the world. And you just go to any bar downtown and find great live music. Even in my home state of Nebraska and Indiana, everywhere I've lived, there's great venues for live music, whether it's large venues or small pubs that have good live music. Great Irish bars with Irish music. You can find that pretty much anywhere in the U.S. So that live music scene is something that you can't find here. Yeah, you can find live music here, but it's harder to find really good live music here in the Philippines. You can go to Thailand, though, and get some pretty decent live music. Number 4 is just convenience. Living here in Metro Manila, I've got convenience, but I can't just hop in my car and drive somewhere and be there in 10-15 minutes because I don't have a car. First of all, I'd be a little hesitant to drive in Metro Manila. I might get a bike at some point, but yeah, you can just drive to any store or bar or restaurant or anywhere, groceries, whatever, retail, and be there in 10-15 minutes in your town. Back in the States, where the smaller the community here in the Philippines, the harder it is, the less convenient it is. So it's almost a day project when you're in the provinces to go to the grocery store or go to the mall and get everything you need. And they put it in a big box and you tie it to the back of your scooter or or your trike that you pay somebody to drive you, whatever the case may be. But yeah, so the convenience is always there in the U.S. over anywhere here in the Philippines. Number 5, driving my car. I do miss that. I love my car. It's in storage back in the States. I have a Mazda 6 Sport, High Sport, and it's just so fun to drive. I love driving. I put so many miles on it. I love driving on the highways. The highways are nice there for the most part, and you can just really hit that cruise control. And Filipina P visited the States recently, and she was talking about, but they don't have cruise control and cars in the Philippines, and the highways are so vast. It's almost like lulls her to sleep, she said. So, but yeah, it's just hit your cruise, find the tunes you want, and just enjoy the ride. Enjoy the scenery. So driving my car, I do miss that. Number 6, golf. I miss golfing. Now, don't get me wrong, they have golf here. I live right by a golf course in BGC, but it was too expensive for me to join that country club. It was a huge expense just to join. And the golf courses are few and far between. In the States, where I've lived, I've been as close as, my back door was on a fairway, so I've been that close, and I've been 5-10 minutes away from a golf course. I've been within an hour away from several golf courses. So you've got those options of great golf courses, decent prices, and just being there. And of course, I don't have my clubs here anyway, so I would have to probably buy a set of clubs because I'm a lefty, so I don't think I can find any to rent here. And just to be honest, the expenses of buying clubs here with the import tax, which is about 300% or something like that, I've heard, it would just be incredibly high, and it wouldn't be worth it. So I might try to, if I ever get back to the States, I might try to bring my clubs back. But I do miss golf. It's been about 2 years since I've golfed, and I miss that. It's one of my favorite pastimes. That's why I started this YouTube channel, because I was so bored. If I had my clubs in a cheap golf course nearby, I could take care of my boredom by going golfing every day or every other day. So I decided to share my experiences on YouTube with you guys. All right, up to number 7, the food. The food in the States, don't count the fast food and the crap that makes you just vomit thinking about it. But the food in the States it's amazing. The restaurants, you've got everything available to you in most places. Even in small cities, you've got all the Western amenities. You've got all these chain restaurants, these franchise restaurants that have decent food. And I'm not talking fast food, I'm talking sit-down restaurants. You've got local restaurants that serve great food. You've got international flair, so you can get Italian, you can get Mexican, you can get Asian, you can find Thai food, Chinese food, Vietnamese food. You can find everything you need is in the States, everything you want. And it's good quality and it's good food. I need to cross the street here. I don't know how I'm going to do that. Oh, here we go. There's an underpass. So, yeah, the food is incredible in the States. So that I do miss. I miss the variety of the food that you can get back in the States. Number 8, the streets and the sidewalks. Now here, it's great. I mean, you've got wide sidewalks. They're not crowded with vendors and bikes. But you get outside of the financial district in Makati, or outside of BGC. Look at that wind. That's weird. And you're going to find the sidewalks, if they have any, are very small, very narrow, and they're usually blocked by street vendors, beggars, motorbikes, poles, light poles. So it's not very well thought out. So that's kind of the downside here. But in the States, you've got sidewalks almost everywhere, and they're wide enough to walk on, and the streets are in decent shape for the most part. Easy to drive on. Now there's always the complaints about potholes and things like that. Those things always happen. But But for the most part, in the U.S., getting around on foot, hello, or in your car or bike is a lot easier. So that's number 8. Number 9, I miss the seasons. You know, here in the Philippines, it's always hot. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind because I don't like cold. But in the Philippines, you have 2 seasons basically. You have hot and hot with rain, that's the season we're in right now. I miss fall. Fall is my favorite time of year back in the States because I grew up in the Midwest, you know, and fall, the leaves are changing. When I was in Tennessee in the Blue Ridge Mountains when I lived there, it's just beautiful to watch the leaves change and check everything out there. Yeah, fall is just great because the air is clean and crisp and it's no longer hot, and it's just a neat time of year. Spring is nice too, but I like fall the most because the weather's nicer, football season, baseball playoffs, all those things are just what makes fall great in America. So, not a big fan of winter, bitter cold, but I do miss the seasons, miss the variety. Here it's like you can guarantee it's going to be 93 degrees every day here, right on the button. And finally, number 10, holidays. I miss the American holidays. Now, they celebrate Christmas like nobody's business here in the Philippines. I mean, they start celebrating in September. You'll see malls and shopping areas starting to put up decorations in the first week of September, and you'll start hearing music playing. Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas Is You, Wham, Last Christmas. You're going to start hearing that Christmas music in the first or second week of September, which is great. I love Christmas time. I love Christmas music, so I don't have a problem with that. The Philippines really does a bang-up job celebrating Christmas because of their large Christian Catholic population. They take it seriously and they do it upright. But the things in the U.S. that we celebrate that they don't here are things like Thanksgiving. Oh, I miss those Thanksgiving dinners. The big turkey with the stuffing, the mashed potatoes and gravy, the candied yams, the green bean casserole, the pumpkin pie with whipped cream. I miss all that. Oh, and then watching football after the game, after dinner, just getting stuffed, eating so much turkey you fall asleep because of the tryptophan. Yeah, Thanksgiving, Independence Day, the 4th of July, that's another holiday they don't celebrate here. Their Independence Day is in June, I believe. But yeah, I miss the barbecues with family, going watching fireworks with my cousins, going to the lake, whatever the case may be. Those holidays I really do miss. And then the ones where you get the days off, Memorial Day, Labor Day, you get the long weekends. Those are always nice. That's like Memorial Day is like the unofficial start of summer, and Labor Day is the unofficial end of summer, basically. So those seasons, those holidays, I do really miss. So those are the things I miss about the U.S. So let's talk about the things I love about the Philippines. The things I love about the Philippines, and I've got a ton of them, but I'll narrow it down to 5. 5 things I love about the Philippines, why I'm still here. Number 1 is the people. The people here are so friendly. You're not going to find a nicer bunch of people than you do here in the Philippines, or in Southeast Asia for that matter. Every country I've been to, the locals here in Southeast Asia have been so friendly. But let's just talk about the Philippines here. How sweet they are, how inviting they are. They would invite you into their place in a heartbeat. That's just how they are. They are so friendly and humble and happy. They're so happy. They're always smiling. Even the ones that have less than others. I never hear them complain, really. They understand where they're at. They understand what they have, and they make the most of it. They're just a very humble and very happy group of people. So that's the number 1 thing I love about the Philippines is the people. You know, you see these videos I make, and when I walk by, they're always right there to say hi with a big smile on their face. It's so nice to have the masks off now, so you can see the beautiful smiles from these Filipinos. That's what's really nice now that we're finally done with that. Now, about 25% of the people still wear the masks, which is fine. That's their prerogative. But there's a jeepney. These jeepneys are so cool. They're all unique in different ways. All right, so we're in Greenbelt. Hello. I'm scared. Hello, ma'am. Ooh. AC. All right, number 2, the dating scene. So I moved out here a year and a half ago to, hello, how are you? I moved out here a year and a half ago for work. I didn't move out here to find a girlfriend or anything like that. I'd recently broken up with a girl, so I wasn't ready to move on yet. So I moved out here for work, and it was about 4 months before I even started dating. But the dating scene here is so much easier than in the West. Especially back a year and a half ago when I started that dating. Things were a lot easier. They don't have the attitude of the women in the West. They're more open-minded to dating anyone. Where do I want to go? Let's get across here. It's just a better scene. More options as far as who's available to date, what you're looking for. Hello, sir. Yeah, it's a lot different, a lot better options, and it's so much easier. Basically, you meet somebody and you get their WhatsApp number or their Facebook Messenger, and then you contact them and you go on a date. Hey, let's go get a coffee, or let's have dinner, or whatever. And the neat thing about it is you could contact somebody from anywhere in the country, in the Philippines, and you can go visit them, or they can come visit you, and it's super cheap to fly or take a bus or a ferry or however the means they need. Really cheap to get to where you want to be, not like in the States where you're limited to basically your town or a town surrounding you as far as who you can date. Because obviously you're not going to be talking to somebody from New York and you live in LA. That's going to be hard to make that happen, make that work. Where here in the Philippines, it's pretty easy to go from one island to another and very inexpensive. So the dating scene is a lot easier here, and they're more real as far as what they're looking for. It's right there. You know up front what they're looking for. They want a relationship. They date to marry. They don't want to mess around. So there are those transactional Filipina, but aside from that, the ones that are serious about relationships, they're looking for long term. So that leads into number 3. Number 3 on my list of what I love about the Philippines is the Filipino women. The Filipina are some of the most beautiful women in the world. Not just their attraction, their physical beauty, but their everything about them, inside and out. They're caring, they're nurturing, they're humble. When you're in a relationship with a Filipina, they will take care of all your needs. You don't even have to ask. It's almost an insult to them when you're with one and say you have dinner at your place and you go to try to clean up. Hello, how are you? It's almost an insult because they want to do it themselves. That's what they're all about. They're all about them helping you. So they'll clean up, they'll cook for you, they'll clean for you, they'll sweep the floor every day, whatever it takes. They'll do the dishes, all of that. And you don't even have to ask, they just do it. So Filipino women are some of the most beautiful, some of the most caring, some of the nicest, the most generous, most nurturing women in the world. And I'll add that Asian women in general are like that. The ones that I've met in the countries I've been, Thailand, Japan, they're like that as well. But let's just focus on the Philippines right now. So, hello, how are you? Number 4, cost of living. Now, the cost of living has gone up in the Philippines in the last year. It's probably higher than in Thailand or Vietnam or other places that I've been, Malaysia. But it's still a lot cheaper than in the States or in the West. So the cost of living, you can get a decent condo or apartment in a big city like here in Makati or BGC. You can get a studio or 1 bedroom for around $500 US a month. You can spend a lot more than that if you want. That's kind of up to you, depending on your budget. But for the most part, if you're if you're on a budget and you don't want to have all those expenses, and you can't live in the States anymore because you're on a budget or a fixed income, retirement, or soon to be retired, this would be a definite option for you to look into. This is a great area. This is a great country to live cheap. You can live, in the big cities, small cities, provinces, mountains, beach, kind of anywhere, and you can find decent places to live cheap. So that's number 4. And finally, number 5, just the beauty of the country. It's got everything. Like I just stated, you want to live somewhere in the mountains where the weather's cooler, like in Baguio or Valencia and Negros. Even some places in Leyte up in the mountains, you can do that. You can do that very cheap. Mountains are beautiful here. Or you want to live on the beach. They've got some of the most beautiful beaches in the world here in the Philippines. Boracay, Palawan. There's different ones that aren't quite as popular, but just as beautiful. Siargao, Siquijor, got some nice beaches. Let's see, where else? Bacolod has some nice beaches, and Negros. You just have to kind of look around, but if you're a beach person, you know, some beaches are good for snorkeling, some are good for surfing, some are good for diving, some are good for just hanging out on the beach. You know, if you're a young guy and wants to look for young Filipina, go to Boracay or Palawan. Those are your places that you need to go and check out. If you're older and you're not looking for that, you're just looking for a nice quiet location, try some of the other locations. El Nido is another nice place. It's a little out of the way, but it's beautiful. So the beauty of, and then if you're a city guy, you know, check out Cebu, check out Makati, check out Metro Manila, check out Davao City in Mindanao. Mindanao gets a raw rap for being dangerous. There are dangerous locations in Mindanao where especially foreigners probably shouldn't go. But Davao City is probably, if not the safest city in the country, it's in the top 3 probably safest cities in the Philippines. So you don't have any worries there. It's the 3rd largest city in the Philippines behind Manila and Cebu. So you've got everything. You've got the convenience of the big cities, you've got the beauty of the islands, the beaches, the mountains. You've got everything, and that's why I love, and it's really easy to get to any of those locations. You know, being in Manila, that's a place where you've got a major airport there, so you can get around. Cebu's got an airport, international airport, so you can hop to any island you want. Those are 2 great central locations if you want to start there and go around and check other things out. So there's my list. Put in the comment section below what you think. Add anything that you might think, you know, if you live here, what do you miss about the States? What do you love about the Philippines? If you're looking at moving here, by all means, look into it. Get here. I'd love to meet up with you guys. But please like, share, and subscribe. I super do appreciate it, more than you know. So until the next time, you guys have a great day, a great evening, and we'll talk to you again soon.